Yo, what is up, guys? Open World Lover here, and today I wanted to make a video about what a Superman game could be and why I really don't think it's that hard or that impossible to make. So, guys, relax, kick back, get a drink, get some food, listen to my voice, got some Spider-Man 2 gameplay in the background, and let's get into it. So, my thing is, over the last couple years, and basically ever, there's been this narrative that Superman couldn't be in a video game. He is too overpowered. What would you even make the story about? People get bored easily. He's not even possible to mechanically make in a video game, right? But I'm here to basically take down all those arguments because I really don't think any of those make sense. And even then, yes, he is too OP. Yes, he is arguably boring. Yes, you can't just make an entire globe for him to fly around. But I think there's just so many workarounds that if companies just nailed it right, we would be fine. And, I'm going to make a lot of comparisons to, games like Red Dead, Spider-Man 2, even the Lego Batman games. And kind of just give you my thoughts. So my biggest thing is, okay, so people say Superman's boring because nothing can kill him, right? I mean, he's literally super OP, and no matter where he is or what he's doing, no one can beat him, and he could beat everyone in 0.1 second, right? I mean, that's the whole argument, but my thing is, there's just two extremes. There's people that love Superman too much and really think that there's not a single fictional character that can stand up to him. And then there's the other people that just think he's boring, they think the only way to kill him is with one small green rock, kryptonite. And I'm here to tell you guys, this isn't really the case. And again, let me try to explain this a little bit. So we know in the comics and throughout his lore, his weaknesses mostly consist of kryptonite and other forms of kryptonite rocks, whether it's red, green, yellow. I know there's an orange one as well, but guys, magic is one of his biggest weaknesses. It's not even his weakness. Magic just affects every user no matter what, unless you have magical protection. And guys, most characters that he hypothetically gets put up against, whether it's Thor, Shazam, or even Kratos, my hot take, Kratos could beat him. I mean, Kratos has so much plot armor and he has so many magical infused items and weapons. I think it would be close. I think it could go either way. Of course, Superman has a speed advantage, but again, we'll get back to that whole hot take later. But anyways, guys, it's just the fans are on two extreme sides where, he's so boring, like only Batman can stop him with unlimited prep time, or there's people that love him too much and they're like, nope, nothing can stop him. Like, I don't want to see him even bleed once or have anything bad happen to him. And I do like the 2025 Superman movie because it was a good little he's only been around for about 2 years. He obviously is stronger than everyone in that movie, but at the same time, Lex Luthor and a lot of the other government agencies that are working for Lex clearly know that we can go after this guy in different ways, and it doesn't just have to be through physical attacks, right? And we saw him, too, get affected by the black hole when he was in that little prison thing with Lex Luthor and them. Again, we know magic is a weakness. We know if you are able to clone him and have another version of him fighting him, then that someone on that same level of strength could take him down. But anyways, guys, gameplay-wise, I want to get into why I don't think he is too overpowered. So, first off, side tangent, I don't like how in the Lego Batman 3 game, he's the only invincible character. Like, no matter what you do to him, no matter what character you are, he can't die, he can't lose health. That's the first thing I get rid of in this game. If we're going to have a game about Superman, he needs to be able to die. He needs to be able to take damage. And as you guys saw by the thumbnail, I think a super easy open world way to do it, kind of like how they do in Spider-Man, is have a bunch of normal goons that, of course, he could obliterate in 1 second, but have goons with upgraded tech or a story reason to why they're strong enough to even stand toe-to-toe with that character. So, as you guys saw in the thumbnail, it's like there could easily be a gang or a bunch of black market kryptonite weapons that is all over the streets now, whether it's by Lex Luthor or a mysterious villain we don't know about. But could you guys imagine flying around? Yeah, you take out some normal bad guys like it's nothing. But then you fly into an alleyway and you see these guys wearing green kryptonite vests, have green ARs pointed at you. And, I mean, you're Superman, so you should be able to dodge them. But ultimately, if they tag you, you're going to lose some health. You're going to actually have a damaged suit. It's going to be kind of high stakes. You're going to have to think of ways to actually get out of the situation and preserve your health, maybe for long term. That'd be cool, too, if they actually made it so in order to heal, you had to, go in a certain spot where the sun could heal you or whatever. But I think with Superman, especially in a game, if we're going to make a first big live-action AAA game for him that's open world especially, whether you want to make it open world or not, that's up for debate. It could be a lot like, so we know in Marvel's Wolverine, it's going to be a lot like, not true open world, but you're going to go from this area in the world to this area in the world to that area in the world. And there's going to be a lot of cutscenes, obviously, and different story beats that take you to those places. So instead of making just one big planet Earth you could fly around, they could easily make a metropolis or kind of a space area or kind of like the Fortress of Solitude, a big desert he could fly through. Even Gotham. I think there's just so many locations in the DC universe they could give to him, and so many big set pieces and places he could fight villains without having a Man of Steel kill everybody. That's the big joke coming from that movie, obviously, where he flies through buildings. I don't think making the world to be too hard. It's just, I don't think we need enterable buildings or anything. I mean, you're Superman. No one wants to just enter a building and walk around and have conversations. Maybe the Daily Planet's the only one where you do that as Clark. But anyways, it's like, I think they need to focus on an origin Superman game, kind of like how they did in the movie in 2025, where he's already Superman, he already has the suit, he already knows who he is, kind of. He already knows he's so much stronger than everybody. But just like that interpretation, kind of have it in this game where maybe even go a step further, or a step closer, I should say, where he's only been Superman for a year and he's not that great at flying yet, but he can leap over buildings in one bound, kind of like in the comics, or stop a locomotive, and maybe have missions very close to that where you're in a very classic Superman suit, stopping what we now consider as low-level feats for Superman, but back in the day, that used to be his biggest feats. And again, too, it's like, yeah, he's too overpowered, but so is Kratos in his games, right? It's like, he has some overpowered abilities in those games and overpowered plot points, but not even that, guys. It's like, what bugged me about Ragnarok in particular, and no one mentioned this, was the fact that on your second mission, you're fighting these like 2-3 foot lizard dudes who have no weapons, no muscles, no anything, and it's taking Kratos 8 hits to kill them. Really? The same guy that could bring down gods in literally just one boxing exchange? And then even Spider-Man 2, for example, he fights those large symbiotes, and dude, no matter how overpowered you are in that game, or even if you're quote-unquote not holding back, dude, they're so hard to kill. It literally takes 15 hits, all your takedown abilities. And I don't know if you guys see in the gameplay in the background, but I finally took down one of them after using all my abilities, and they're all on cooldown. And then another one spawns in. It's just like, dude, it's not even fun because it's not even a Venom level character. And I get symbiotes are powerful, but again, too, it's like, I think there's ways to have the power fantasy where you could fly super fast in this game. You could just laser from super far away. You could easily destroy small level bandits and whatnot. But at the same time, I think, again, with an idea I haven't heard yet, which is having kryptonite ARs on the black market that criminals can start using, have it be part of the plot for the video game, as well as, again, he has so many villains, guys. Lex Luthor, you guys get to introduce Metallo, you guys can introduce Mongol as well, introduce Darkseid, obviously it'll become a bigger villain. Same with Brainiac. It's like, and again, maybe just make it more of his origin, maybe just make the game more kind of cinematic feel, more of like you versus Lex. And again, just like I was saying with Red Dead, kind of have him, he doesn't need to enter all these buildings, you know what I mean? They could easily just make a huge map where you have copy and paste buildings everywhere. He doesn't need to enter these buildings, because why would he anyways, if you're Superman? Typical day-night weather cycle, all that stuff, tons of customization for the suits. I do like on the Lego games they have kind of they do make Flash really fun. He is way faster than everybody, and it's not an issue. My only issue in those games is Superman cannot die in those games, no matter who he's fighting. It just makes it so unfun. It makes it so unfun to fight with your friends or even go on those missions, because there's literally zero stakes. It's like, they just need to establish stakes. They need to establish a Superman where he doesn't want to just use his laser vision from miles away like Homelander. They just need to kind of make a story that fits him better, that makes the world a little bit stronger around him, where you can have many boss fights with guys like Metallo and Power Man, or even maybe have him team up with Batman for a mission where he's intentionally holding back a little bit. He's not trying to kill everybody because he won it anyways, and same with his friend Batman. But anyways, I was going to say too, it's like, have it like Red Dead 2 where it's like, maybe there's an honor and dishonorable system where you have to make good choices. Criminals will surrender, and you can have the choice of beating them up, or you could just be like, okay, citizens, I forgive you, kind of be the real Boy Scout we all know and love. And again, I keep skipping this point, sorry guys, but as I was saying with Red Dead, it's like, just have it to where you can go up to people and talk to them and have meaningful conversations and, change the world with all your actions and stuff. And again, that could be like the biggest, in-depth feature where you're actually stopping and talking to different people, kind of learn their story. I love it too in the Spider-Man 2 games, how they have the friendly neighborhood app. We need missions like that. You know, we don't need large scale wars. We don't need to take down Brainiac in every mission. We don't need to be super OP to the point where the game's actually a snore. I just think there's so many ways to have fun, get the Superman fantasy, grow as Superman. Again, if he's younger, he'll have an excuse to actually build a skill tree with him, get new suits, unlock them, find them around the map in hidden spots, which shouldn't be too long or hard because you're literally Superman. And again, he has so many villains and so many villains that could actually make the world a stronger, more dangerous place where he'll be more necessary. But anyways, guys, that's my whole video. You know, this is a topic maybe we'll get into more, but I'm just sick of the excuses that they can't make a game, because they absolutely can. You absolutely can think of a game for this character. But anyways, guys, that's my thoughts. Thanks for sticking around. Hope you all have a good one.